Top of the morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Glad you could be here today. And I wanted to start this episode out by giving a shout out to the subscribers of this channel. And it is a new channel. I don't have a clue who's watching this, so I'm going to ask a favor here. And if you're watching this video, just leave a comment below with your country's flag, just so I have an idea of where people are watching from. I'm assuming the majority of people are in Canada and North America, but I really have no idea. So thank you to anybody who's been liking these videos, sharing these videos, and subscribing to the channel. I just want to say thanks. It means a ton to me, and I very much appreciate it. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about a platform called Noster. I think it's a platform. I don't even know what to call it. And kind of the theme of this episode, we'll call it, is that I'm going to keep things very high level, and I'm going to talk about the experience. I'm going to share a few tips and tricks that I've learned through my Noster journey so far, which includes how to set up a profile picture and how to set up your Lightning wallet to accept Bitcoin through Noster. And just having said that, trying to figure out Noster was almost like relearning the internet. And there's a reason for that, because it's decentralized. And I'm going to spend about a minute here talking about the decentralized aspect of Noster. And the reason why I love Noster so much is because I've been talking about decentralization for a while now. And I really foresee a world where we move into a decentralized system. And I think that Noster is going to play a big part of that. And so if you think about an application like Twitter, it has a closed source code. I think that's what it's called. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm an expert on all this terminology, and that's why I don't really want to get into it, but it's still worth pointing out the differences between a platform like Noster and Twitter. So with Twitter, they have the centralized servers that basically store all your data, right? We know that. They also have a closed source code, which means nobody can go in there and change it except for Twitter. Whereas Noster is the opposite of that. It's an open source protocol, which means that anybody can use that code and build on top of that. So there's already hundreds of applications being built on this Noster platform, and it's fully decentralized, which means that they don't have the ability to store your data. They don't have the ability to censor you. And with that comes trade-offs. And that's, I talked about how to set up a profile picture. That's something that it honestly felt like I was relearning to use the internet at some points, because whenever you have convenience, whenever you have ease of use and user friendliness, there's always a trade-off there. And that usually means your privacy and the collection of your data. So although Noster takes a little bit more time to figure out, I think it's definitely worth exploring. And I'm going to get into a few benefits and stuff like that. But that's kind of the main premise here, is that Noster is decentralized. An application like Twitter is centralized. And there's a bunch of people within the Bitcoin community, because it ties so well into Bitcoin, that have been moving from Twitter into Noster. And I really believe that instead of spending an hour walking you through how to do everything on here, I think the best approach is just to download an application called Damus, which is DAMUS. You can get that within the App Store, and it's built on top of the Noster platform. So download Damus, create an account, get going, and really just play around. I think that anybody watching this show, I think, will be interested in checking out Noster, because Twitter to me is used for a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And every time I log into Twitter, my blood pressure seems to go through the roof, just because I'm seeing all the bullshit in the world. It's all politics, all that kind of stuff. And on the other side of it, people use it for sports highlights and sports, interactions, all that kind of stuff. But if you're somebody who spends a lot of time on the internet to learn and to better yourself, I guess, in different ways, but I think Noster is a great place, because it seems like all the smartest people in the world are using Noster right now. And it's really cool to see people like Jack Dorsey, and who else is on there? Matt Odell, which is a guy that I follow pretty closely and very much respect the level of knowledge that he has in regards to Bitcoin and other technologies. But they're on Noster, And it seems like it's a lot of signal and a lot less noise, a lot less bullshit. And that's what really drew me into Noster. And I've been using Noster a lot more than I have been using Twitter. So that's a couple benefits. There's no politics hardly. It's just a really good community of intelligent people. And whenever you're the smartest person in the room, not that I am or ever have been, but on Twitter, I feel like all those applications are just kind of mind numbing almost. And if you want to put yourself in a position to learn about Bitcoin, about the new technologies that we have available and how to best utilize those, a place like Noster is perfect. So I'm not sure what the heck's going on with my voice here, but my voice keeps cracking and it's super annoying. And also have one of those floaty things in my eyes right now. So conditions are less than ideal right now, but we're going to push through here. So like I said, Noster itself is the code, and there's a bunch of applications being built on that with different types of features. And the best one that I found so far is an application called Damus, which I believe stands for like Noster Damus. Maybe. That's just my theory on it. But Damus itself, if you log into it, you can download it from the App Store. And I'm going to explain how to add a profile picture, which in applications like Twitter, which are very easy to use with trade-offs, but very easy to use, you basically just click a button, you can upload a picture, they store it all there. But with Damus, they don't store any of your data. So you basically have to link everything to the application for them to use it, right? Because they don't store anything, it's not as accessible all the time. So believe it or not, it took me about an hour to try to figure out how to add a profile picture on Noster. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Noster, sorry, I sometimes have to spell things out, nostr.build. And from there, you're going to be able to upload a picture, and it's going to provide you with a link. You're going to copy that link and paste it into Damus where it says profile picture ID link. I better make sure I'm using the right terminology here. When you get set up on Damus, you're going to have nothing on your profile. All you're going to have is your public key and your private key. And the cool thing about Damus and Noster itself is that they actually use the public key and the private key, just like Bitcoin. So your private key is essentially going to give you access to every application that's built on top of Noster. So there's Damus, there's Astral, and you can use this private key that you have to log into any of these applications, and your feed is going to look the exact same on every application. Your profile picture is going to be the same, everything. It's just going to have different information because different users within that application. Like I said, it is confusing, and the best way to learn it is just by doing it. But I wanted to give a few tips to save you some time and to make your experience a little bit better than mine was trying to learn this. So within Damus, you're just going to go to your edit. You have your name, your username, and your profile picture there. Instead of having a picture that you just uploaded, just has a room for a link. And so that's where you're going to copy and paste it into your profile picture. And you kind of have to play around with it. If you want to use an application, there's an application called Pixel Cut that I use where it sizes different pictures. And so with this, you want to have a square, obviously, for your profile picture. And the first one I used was a portrait picture, and it just looked really compressed. So you're going to have to play around with this stuff. But once you get your picture uploaded, you paste the link in here, and it should show up on your Damus app as your profile picture. And that's the exact same for your banner image. You do the exact same thing. You go to nostr.build, upload your picture. Once it uploads, you copy that link and paste it into Damus. So once you get a hang of it, it's actually pretty easy to do, but it's just a matter of getting to that, because I tried a bunch of different websites and applications trying to get a link from an image, and none of them would recognize with Damus or any other application. So the one that I found most helpful has been nostr.build. And you can do that on your phone. You don't have to be on your laptop or desktop. You can do it on your phone, upload it directly from there, and it should show up as your profile picture. And the second thing that I struggled with trying to figure out was how to set up your Lightning wallet within Damus. So the cool thing about Noster and Damus is that you can connect it to your Lightning address, and people can send you tips or zaps, they call it on there, which is Bitcoin over the Lightning network. If somebody likes your post, they can go to your profile, click the Lightning bolt, and send you a tip, value for value. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about the value for value model into the future. But Damus is a perfect way to facilitate this type of thing. So from the profile in the exact same spot, you're in the edit profile section, it says Bitcoin Lightning tips. So there's another bar for that you can copy and paste into. And what I've found to be the most beneficial or the most useful application is something called the Wallet of Satoshi. So you can find that in the App Store. You don't have to enter any information at all. It claims to be the most, what does it say here? The world's simplest Bitcoin Lightning wallet. And it is pretty simple. So from the main screen, all you're going to do is click receive. There's two buttons there, receive and send. Click receive, and you have the option of Lightning, Bitcoin, and a Lightning address. So I'm going to stick to Lightning here. I'm going to add a custom amount, and you can type in, you can actually toggle between, you can toggle between sats and dollars, which is pretty handy. I use sats mostly just for shits and gigs. But here I'm going to, if you wanted to invoice somebody, say $50. So you type in $50, it automatically generates the sats there. Or you can flip it. And if you want to enter in, we'll say 88,000, the 88 sats amount. 288 bucks. I don't know if that's right or not, but anyways, that's the sats to dollar ratio. Calculate conversion, not ratio. Sorry, this video has been a bit of a shit show between my voice and everything else going on, but that's what it should look like. So I'm going to create an invoice here. I got my sats in there. I'm going to click done. And then all you do is just copy that. So that's your Lightning address right there. It starts with LN. It says copy Lightning invoice to clipboard. And so with that, what you can do is go back to Damus and you just paste that into your Bitcoin Lightning tips. And another thing you can do here, so that's essentially if somebody sees your profile or a post that you made, they can go to your account there. There's a little lightning bolt at the top there. You click that, and then you click Wallet of Satoshi, and that's how people would give you some sats if they like what you're doing, value for value. But another cool thing here is that you can just paste that. So I just created a post, and I just pasted that into the post. There's no limit of how many characters you can use. There's really no limits or rules about anything. So I'm just going to click post here. So I created an invoice there that shows up on the feed. It says Lightning invoice for 888,000 Satoshis. With no context, I'm guessing nobody will ever pay that amount because it's 300 bucks, but it's a demo. So that's how you do that. And if somebody wanted to pay it, all they do is click pay. They connect it to their wallet of Satoshi or Blue wallet, and they can pay it. And then it automatically goes into your wallet of Satoshi. A couple things to note, I would say, is that you cannot delete any posts. And this is something that I not learned the hard way, but I posted something. I think there was a spelling error in it. And then I tried to delete it and realized that there's no delete feature. And you cannot really undo anything. Similar to how the Bitcoin network operates, in the sense that once you send the Bitcoin, once there's a confirmation, there's absolutely no way to reverse that because it gets broadcast out to the network. And you'd have to go to every node within the Bitcoin network and make that change. And that's kind of how I think about this with a post. So it's kind of cool I think that anybody who's watching this video obviously wants to learn a little bit more about Bitcoin, and Nostr, I think, is going to be the go-to platform, or Damus, sorry, I guess in this case. I think a lot of these applications built on Nostr function similar, and you can go ahead and try out a few. Like I said, one's called Astral.Ninja, I think. I haven't spent too much time on that, but it's on the desktop version. And the application on Damus is, I think, one of the only ones that's within the App Store. And they got shut down, I think, 4 or 5 times from Apple because Apple's not used to applications that do not collect any data. And so I think they had to go through a certain amount of process hoops to get on the App Store, but they're finally there. So that has been my breakdown of Noster. I think it's an amazing technology, furthering my theory on the decentralized world that we're going into. And it's a pretty good sign when people like Jack Dorsey and Matt Odell, all these guys are spending a lot more time on Noster and less time on the centralized applications like Twitter. So that's what I got for you today. Like I said, thanks to everybody who's been subscribing to the channel, sharing these posts, liking these posts. It means a lot to me. And the further we can amplify this message, if you believe in what I've been talking about, the best way to spread this and amplify it is by sharing and triggering the algorithm, talking about it within your network. And it's just one person at a time. That's how things change. And that's what I've said since day one on this channel. And that's how things will go into the future. So we're just getting started here. Once again, if you're watching, if you're a subscriber, add a little flag in the comments below where you're watching from. And we got lots of things coming. Did our first interview last week. Going to be posting it hopefully in the next couple of days here. But we're just getting started here. Same with Noster, same with Damus, all this kind of stuff. Same with Bitcoin. We're all in the very early stages of this. And the better you can position yourself in the early stages, the better you'll be into the future. So once again, I appreciate you for watching this. I appreciate the hell out of you for subscribing. And my voice is toast. So I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.